First, though, demonstrations have been held across the East Midlands in support of workers at one of Britain's biggest high street clothing chains. They are urging Sports Direct to stop using 0 hours contracts and to improve conditions at its Derbyshire headquarters.
Well, the protests were timed to coincide with a shareholders' meeting in Shirebrook, where the company rejected claims that it's operating Dickensian working practices. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
They were determined to make themselves heard, a campaign for better pay and conditions for thousands of agency workers employed here at Sports Direct's headquarters in Shirebrook. The company won't deal with these trade unions, but they're demanding a so-called living wage and an end to 0 hours contracts.
They're scared to stand up for themselves. They're scared to point out when things are wrong because they can lose their employment at a moment's notice. It's not right. We're hearing some terrible stories that are coming out of particularly the warehouse here, but also out of the stores. And we want to change Sports Direct to make it into the responsible employer it should be.
Some campaigners wore Victorian costumes to highlight what they've called Dickensian conditions, as several shareholders inside raised concerns about working practices, and some made it clear they'd lost confidence in Sports Direct's board. But one of the directors insisted that the firm doesn't operate Dickensian working practices, that everyone's rights are respected. And despite a challenge here today, the board's been re-elected. There were demonstrations at dozens of high street stores too, here in Nottingham and here in Derby, where shoppers were asked to sign a petition.
We've got Sports Direct here.
While these protesters targeted the Sports Direct shop at Loughborough.
People are struggling to make ends meet, and a 0 hours contract when you don't know where your next job is going to be is not good at all.
We've nearly run out of flyers to give, and there's a lot of interest. I've even had one lady who was going to go into the company and ask for about job vacancies, and having seen our campaign today, she's changed her mind and is going to look elsewhere.
It's all part of a campaign for better working conditions that's already targeted other high street chains. These protesters marched to Paul Smith in Nottingham last year dressed as Robin Hood, and there was another demo at Next's headquarters near Leicester. But business leaders say 0 hours contracts suit some workers.
They offer flexibility. They've allowed people like students to take employment opportunities. So 1 in 5 have also our contracts, a student. And also, we talk a lot about skill shortages. A number of our members tell us that they use them to retain the skills of people who have passed retirement age.
And tonight, Sports Direct said it complies fully with its legal requirements for casual workers, including their entitlement to holiday and sick pay. But that's unlikely to satisfy these protesters. Jeremy Ball, BBC's Midlands Today, Shirebrook.